Hello, Simply Keela. You are the first in the chat. How are you? Hey, Odd Jewels. Hey, Intuitively in Sync. I'm just going to give a few more people a little bit of time to get in here. And so we can go from there. If you are frightened easily, and especially if you hate horror movies, gory things, then this is definitely not going to be the video for you, okay? Because y'all know what I gotta say. I went on a travel. I got more information, even though they tried to extract information from me, what appears to be Palladians, and I'm not sure what race of beings these are. Understand? I was able to keep a little bit of the information stored so I can get you all prepared and get you ready, okay? I cry out to every single rock, stone, even the pebbles, crystals, the mountains, which we were led to believe that mountains are just nothing but a collection of hardened soil material, and it is not. Mountains are the fossilization of mega-sized trees that once grew from the planet. Mountains are also the bones of giant humans. These are your ancient, prehistoric beings. And on every single one of them, or within them, this message is ingrained for eternity and infinity, and beyond every existence of every living thing in this omniverse. No man, no woman, no being will be able to erase this message that will be spoken today. I cry on every river and stream, creeks, lakes, that this message is carried, and every tree is my witness, and the leaves will take it to all of the inhabitants upon this planet. I even ask the stones, the asteroids, and the interior of every single celestial sphere to contain this, even the stellar stars. Where stars are made, even on our sun and on our moon, even though it's not what we thought it was, they lied. Okay? I call on you, the crossroads, that no one blocks this road, that this road is open to all spiritual beings. And I'm not just talking about in physical human form. I'm talking about also in etherical forms. Hello? Okay, let's talk or let's trip. So, everyone already knows about the so called blood moon. Yes, the blood moon turned the rivers in China blood red. You know, they spoke of all of this in Revelation. And whether we want to believe it or not, it is unfolding. So, whoever that prophet was, they've done a pretty good job. But what does that mean for us? What does that mean for us? What it means for us is that we are in a situation where we're going to see things that we've never witnessed before in our life. And I have been talking to you all about these things throughout the years. It's so silent and so quiet. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's just like all ears are listening. Yeah, as you all already know, I am a traveler, an astral traveler, or a soul walker. They got so many different names for us, shaman or what have you. And you all know I've been talking about these things way before it became very popularized. You know what I'm saying? I've always been coming and telling you all about what I've encountered on the other sides with an S. And I'm going to continue to talk about it, but like I said, it's getting to be watered down because there are so many people who are now joining the bandwagon, and you really just don't know who is being truthful about it and who's not. But it's not for me to decide what's real and what's not when it comes to everybody, because what's beautiful about the whole entire situation, even though people come and they take excerpts of my videos and go back to their channels, and I'm not necessarily talking about YouTube, but I'm starting to hear myself on TikTok, and it's very interesting. But it's okay, because what that means is that the planet is turning spiritual. Beings are no longer interested anymore in what is going on with young thug and all of these different rappers and stuff. They're different names, these weird names and stuff, because they are prophets, but they have decided not to be honest and truthful. They have decided to derail with using vulgarity, okay, to tear up the unity amongst the African American community, and beyond, I guess. Okay, so there's going to be like I told you all, a consequence to that. And I was even talking about that other individual that passed away. I dare say the name, because it has caused me to have to delete several videos, because my ancestors, they were like admonishing me about that. But I do need to say that you're going to see more African American men dying, and my heart goes out to them. I am so sorry that this is happening, because I have a African American son myself. Always know that I'm humbled. I am not exempt. They can come and get me when my time comes. So I'm not glorifying the deaths of the African American man. He has committed an atrocity that is not forgivable as far as the great mother is concerned. Because we're all going into this mystical place, and the fact that we're going there, we got work to do, and the African American woman needs her assistance. And if he is not there to assist, then the great mother says that there is no need for him here, because business, you understand, has to go on. And you're taking up space right now. This is the great exodus, not only physically but spiritually. A lot, the mothership is hovering, and it is confiscating the black man. And if you don't believe me, I need you all to just, you can stay right here on YouTube and you'll see it for yourself. People will say, oh, this was some people who are the naysayers. This has been going on for a long time, because the life expectancy of these individual men is not that long. But I'm talking about young men are going to be crossing over. African American men, listen to me, will be crossing over in droves because the divine masculine is all that is important right now. If you're not serving a role of divine masculinity, you, my friend, can go ahead and count yourself in that special place. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead on and at least try to get you a first class seat. There's no sense of sitting in the back, is it? So I do need to say that. Okay, so with this blood moon, let's talk about the blood moon. Like I said, it's coming for African American men. Who knows? My son might be in that crowd, and maybe Mr. Willis. So I've explained to them the importance. It's not up for us to save them. Unfortunately, you're gonna bag back. It could be like I said, my son. It could be my brother. I got a lot of brothers. It may be them or whatever, but all of this around here, like on these dating sites and stuff, looking for women, because your mind as a black man is trained to see women as an opportunity rather than to see women as your woman, the person you're supposed to protect, okay, and value. You're supposed to see her as a queen. And if you don't see her as a queen, then you shouldn't be bothered with her. But exploiting those that you say ain't no queendom in them is going to cause you these consequences I'm talking about. So get ready for more shootings. Every time you turn around, who's going down? One of them. Because there's too many black women missing. Too many. And the black man is not guarding her. So the great mother is going to deal with you. And I'm not saying this out of anger. I see it. When every time I turn around, oh, this one done died, that one done died, that one is incarcerated, and this one is incarcerated, and that is going on with this one and that one. It's because the great big mama ain't happy right now. So if you are one of these men that is responsible for using or seeing a woman, a black woman, as an opportunity, you understand? You will get your ticket. And like I said, if you're going to go hard, go ahead on and get you a first class ticket out of here. Don't settle for second class or third class if there's one on an airplane, okay? And I don't even think it's an airplane because airplanes take us up in the submarine. Hello? Get ready, y'all. I told y'all, blood moons are omens. Thank you, Aja. They represent large numbers of people that are going to perish, that are going to die. And I know y'all wondering how they're going to die. It's going to be a horrific death because, well, we already know the sickness is more deadlier than it has ever been. And it's going to get worse. But starvation, and we already know we've been talking about food shortages and stuff like that, but starvation and a lack of health care due to the strain of not having materials, because like they said, and it is a setup. How do I know that this blood moon, they're not creating it because the moon appears to be sort of something like a projection in the sky or some kind of film footage in the sky? The skies are the screens. It's the screen. You know how that screen pops up just before a movie? Because I said life is a stage, it's a movie where all the characters playing a role. You understand? The earth is the stage and the sky is the screen. Because, like I said, just before the movie, I always show you in the sky who's going to be appearing in the movie and who's responsible for this and who's responsible for that. Watch the skies. Because the skies is they're the projection, because honestly, there's no way to get out of the firmament. You can't get out. There is something there to encapsulate us here. And I told you all about that. And I ain't going to get into the flat earth theory or whatever. We ain't going to go there. But I know that they have control over every image that you see up there because they are projecting it there so you can see it. So it's a warning from them that they're going to take a lot of lives. Maybe 1 billion before this year is out. That's a lot of people. Now, I'm trying to put it in words what I saw. And I'm trying to see if I'm even ready to talk about that or talk about some other things, because you got to heat this thing up. You understand? You understand? You know how you have to warm your car up and then you can take the trip. Many don't believe, many don't care. Because if it's not on the news, people tend to just think that this is all conspiracy. They never look at the writing on the wall. With gasoline prices right at $4.50 in the eastern states, meaning that diesel is going to get higher, they seem to not be able, these people seem not to be able to get the concept of the fact that it seems like it's a shortage of fuel. When there's a shortage of something, they raise the prices. Am I right? That coupled with the fact that we have to pay for this weather because it's much hotter than you all can imagine out there. This is why they are cloud seeding, are building and building and layering and layering and layering clouds. Okay? That costs money. So we have to take that into consideration. And this is a project that is going on all over the globe. Okay? So with fuel shortages approaching us, and I like to let y'all imagine that. You're driving on E, going from place to place looking for fuel, sitting in lines that may be from all the way from the spot where the gasoline is all the way down the road. You stop your car, cut it off. And then when the next car come up, then, to go move up, then you move up, then you move up, then you see what I'm saying? Every time you cut a car off and cut it back on, it requires lots of gas to turn it back on. So you may just be out of fuel by the time you get to the pump. That's if anything is in there. Now, with your truck drivers experiencing the same issues, who's carrying medications, who's carrying supplies to hospitals and oxygen tanks and things that people need, suture equipment, some sterilization kits and stuff. That normal saline in bags and antibiotics in bags. You got all potassium in bags, blood products for people who need blood transfusions. See, I'm beginning to think that all of this is staged. Someone is directing this. I just don't know how high up it is. Could be just something cosmic, y'all. Because, and so, but what I wanted to say with that, the food is not going to be able to get to your stores. And I don't think anybody is going to stop this. This is a moving train with no brakes on it. $4.40 a gallon here. You know it's going to be much higher in other places. So by the time we hit $5 and $6 and $7 a gallon, the entire nation is crippled. This is the way many of us are going to perish. From the lack of medical, like I said, I wanted to explain it, the lack of medical care, meaning that I need high blood pressure medications to sustain my life. I've tried it other ways with herbs only, and it's resistant because my body has built a dependence on medication to regulate pressure. Those are some of the dangers of pharmaceuticals, but they do that as a means to save your life. They really don't have the time to take the time to teach you how to live a life of eating foods that are medicines to your body. And it is because most of our foods that we eat, they're genetically modified. We think, and I've heard it over and over and over again to the point now I believe it, that apples are genetically modified, carrots. Okay, so I'm always on TikTok. I'm rarely here on YouTube. I'm trying to build my TikTok channel, but I know there's certain things I can't do on TikTok or they'll ban me there too. Or I may be blacklisted on TikTok and don't even know it. But I know that I can't make comments on YouTube. Certain things I can't do anymore. That I've lost a lot of privileges on YouTube because of the content, because of who I am and who my audience is. Like I say, a lot of the times they don't want certain audiences to get the information. They don't want you all to get prepared. And I know you all are prepared. You don't do nothing but have one canned good a week to store under your bed. Do it, and hopefully you won't get hungry enough to go ahead and eat it now, like me. Look. So TikTok, if you want to know, like I said, what is really going on, y'all got to go to TikTok. YouTube is not useful for people who are trying to stay ahead of what is getting ready to go on with current events. Okay. They have lost that luster, and it's because something bought YouTube, and it is owned by, that something is Google, and Google stands for government. Government has bought all of this out. Whatever you all find popular, they're going to buy it out. Once they buy it out, everything has to go by their rules, because your government is hell bent on keeping you in the dark. It is not here. It's not here for what you think it is. The government is not for the people. The government is all for itself. And anything that threatens it, you understand, there's going to be some problems. Your police officers are not on the force to serve and protect you. It says serve and protect, but not you. It's to serve and protect the corporations, the elites, and itself. Now, out of courtesy, they can come out to your house if there's some problems. But if they don't show up, You understand? They're not legally obligated to. And you're going to see more problems. Oh my God, cops are everywhere. Every store I go in, they're laced with police officers. But I had already spoken about that. I had spoken about, thank you, Ajay. I had spoken about the fact that, you got to watch your back, especially women with children, because they're going to take your buggies and take your food, and angry people are going to be in there. They're going to raise a scene. Angry people who cannot afford food, they will be coming in there enraged. And I had already did my predictions I think it was like what, back in the one I told y'all, said expect more riots, more protests, and more just wars, just street wars. I told y'all, I said, watch your back, women. If you're going to go out shopping by yourself, you're going to have you some mace, or you're going to have to be packing you a pistol. And I'm speaking also to black women. Give me a minute. Every black woman needs to pack a pistol with her, especially if you are a tiny woman. Hello? They are more likely to try and subdue a tiny lady before they are anything else. Okay, now that can happen to me. I ain't bragging, but I'm almost 6 foot tall. They'll think twice. Everybody says there's some sex trafficking going on. So many black women are missing for sex trafficking. That's just one aspect of why they're kidnapping lots of women of all kinds, but the majority are African American women and Hispanic women. That's just one aspect now. It's other things they want too. And we've talked about organs, y'all ought to know that. But I'm going to tell you something shocking, more shocking than that I've seen. But we know also about other things, that there are what we would call slave plantation owners that they're getting themselves ready. So they need field hands. See, nobody talking about that. It's still plantations in Mississippi, y'all. The next time you ride through here and you see, a lot of trees, and then it has this big old fence that look like it could be like an electrical fence if you touch it. And then it has on here, keep out, private property, no trespassing. And then you ride up that red road and it seems like it take you almost minutes and minutes and minutes to get up in there. That right there. It's no telling what's in there, because see now, them food plants that got burnt down, some of them were found to have human DNA in the meat. So we all talking about I was almost, I seen this. I seen a white van. And they're thinking that the only thing that they're looking for is just women. No, they may be looking for men too. They need field hands. And they need meat. I look at this big, huge corporation like McDonald's and Burger King. It would be very nice to think that it would be those many cows available to produce that much meat for $1 trillion operation. Wouldn't it be nice? But I do believe there are far more humans than there are cattle. A cow, do y'all know a cow can cost as much as 10 grand, and they're going up. I never will forget, this man was coming over here and talking about putting an air unit in my house. And the man told me he wanted $12,000-$15,000 for an air unit for a little small house. And I was like, this doesn't even make no sense. I was saying this in my head. He can get on out of here, because I am not going to hire him for anything. And he began to talk to me about or brag about how he is making payments on a cow. He told me that the cow was back at that time about 9 or 10 grand. I'm sure it's much higher than that now. One cow, and he is at a farm, not his farm, but somebody's farm. Okay, and a processing center, and he makes payments, and he does this every year. And at the end of the year, around nearish fall or winter, you understand, he gets his product. So he was bragging about how they were feeding his cow, her, all of the corn and barley and just good things, just pinned in and just fattening it all up, and how he was getting ready to get his freezer. You know those big old huge freezers walk in. He has a walk-in freezer in his shed. He has a commercial shed. You understand what I'm saying? And he was talking about his family and how this cow, which costs about 10 grand, maybe more, is going to feed his family for an entire year, and how they're going to, cut they're going to use the tongue. They're not going to waste anything. You're going to have beef liver, and you're going to have just this. Y'all get the drift, don't you? Give me the drift. Okay, so at $10,000 a cow, and I'm sure y'all look it up. It's much more now, because I was talking to a cattle owner, and he was telling me he could sell me a calf, and the calf was $1,200. Now this was about 8 years ago. A calf probably costs much, much more than that now. How am I or you to believe that a $10,000 to $15,000 cow, they're gonna just be slaughtering them left and right to make McDonald's burgers for trillions of people, and Burger King and Whataburger, and on and on and on and on and on. They got factories over here. They got farms. They got human farms. Them great sausages that you love to eat, and hot dogs. They got human farms. Do you hear me? So, with all of this going on, you all need to understand how important it is to get some self-defense classes, men and women, but women in particular, black women. I'm also talking to you, because you're the most hated, but the most desired. They know your power. They know it. They know your gifts. They know you have the ability to produce babies, more babies than any other human being. Did you know that? At one time, black women were pumping out about 30 babies before it was all over. Pumping out twins, triplets, and quadruplets. Do you hear me? How come you think they needed your breast milk? Hello? You can produce so much milk and so many babies. Y'all get my drift now? So everything is not about sex trafficking. Okay, so I'm fixing to head over here to the chat over here, okay, and see what we got going on, because everybody is they're prepared. Everybody in the chat is prepared. You're gonna tell your fellow man, your fellow woman, or your divine feminine, your divine masculines. So you're safe if you're a divine masculine. And I'm gonna tell you, the man that is the man that is the gay man, the homosexual man, the man who is leaning far more to his femininity, he's gonna be the one that survives this apocalypse. I hate to say it. Be careful, heterosexual men. You're going to be the one that's gonna be doomed if you're not standing in divine masculinity. The black man who has now realized that he's supposed to be standing in the position of provider, protector, that man, okay, who's willing to stand on his feet and not looking for some woman, you understand, to stand on top of, you understand, he's going to be the one that's going to make it. And I'm hoping that everybody has been communicating with their ancestors and allowing their ancestors to guide. Don't worry about hearing back from them. You're listening to a voice. Just say, ancestors, sacred, loving ancestors, guide my footstep at all times, even when I forget to ask you. Provide me with downloads. Them downloads gonna be important. You get your downloads from the sun, but there's something not quite right with that sun. Is not necessarily most of the time up in a day shaped round. So evidently there is something in front of it. There is some type of lens or screen on there. And I know what I've seen documentaries where they said that they was going to reflect the sun back at itself so that they can cool the planet down so many degrees. In addition to that, you do have layers and layers and layers of chemical artificial clouds. And for people like myself, I am a very dark skin hue, a very dark hue. It takes a little bit more time for me to receive the light energy that helps me to synthesize D3 than it does anyone who's fair skinned. So I require more light because my body was designed, you to understand, to protect me from extreme UV rays. You understand? Even my nail beds are I'm 95% African, only 5% of European. So my nail beds are very dark. They're the color of my skin. My toenail beds are the color of my skin. My fingernail beds are the color of my skin to protect me from those UV lights that eventually in some will cause melanomas. Okay, I'm not saying I can't get one because I'm 5% European. So that puts me at risk, but you don't hear about Africans who are 100% African with melanomas. Okay. My eyes are black. My pupils are black. They're not brown. They're not blue. They're not hazel. And that is also to protect the back of your eye, where your cornea is, and all of those other very important, like your retina, protected from cancers, from free radicals that eventually will grow tumors, and all of those things. So, like I said, globally, okay, this is a global one world government already. And the people who refuse to participate in it are at war. Hello? If you refuse to participate in it, we will kill your leaders, your presidents. This is why you have had that issue in Haiti and you had that issue in Tanzania. So you must go with the flow. Allow them into your skies. I'm talking about the children of the matrix. Allow them into your skies to obscure the sun with chemical clouds. It's everywhere. There was this man, he's still around, I mean, he was so into observing the skies, and he had his own little rocket and everything. He was just proving to the world that you can't get out of the firmament. You're stuck. I mean, he would launch his things and then they would just come crashing back down. So, it's interesting, that, NASA can just go and break the barrier and they're out there, but he couldn't do it. But He went on further to launch his own. See, so the satellites are not really out in outer space like you think. They're just hovering over the planet, to be for real, y'all. But he had his little, apparatus up there, and he was showing images of the Earth, and the Earth just didn't look like what y'all think. We see a blue Earth, and it had, like little vapors on it, and the vapors are the clouds. All he saw was like soap suds, like masses and masses and masses of cloud coverage just hovering over the entire planet. Look more like a snowball. This is what they're doing to your planet. This is why it is getting very difficult to get your downloads, not only for your immune system, so that you'll be strapped and armed and not get the sickness. See, they don't want you, you already know they don't want you to have that download, okay? So that's part of the agenda. But in addition to that, there are downloads that you need on a spiritual nature too. And you're not getting them. Anything spiritual is the enemy of the children of the matrix, and this is why they want the population down by 1 billion by the end of this year, because they know they are not a match for a boatload of spiritual beings. And we're talking about how they are opening portals with their CERN machines and all of their different machines that they have, but they know you're far more powerful than their machines, because you are all on a collective opening up portals on your own when you meditate and you network with other meditators. When you pull out your tarot cards, your oracle cards, your incense, your candles. And get ready, y'all. Spiritual supplies are going up off the roof, because they say, okay, then, well, shoot, since we can't commercialize this, they're not interested in buying our handbags, our fashion handbags, and and shoes to match, and all of these other little things that are baloney. And they try to glorify it to us on commercials and stuff like that here online, because ain't nobody watching no TV for real. People watch apps on TV. If it ain't an app, no one has interest in it. It's not working anymore. People realize it was a dream, that the American dream was just what it said. They don't never talk about the American reality. They talk about the American dream, offering people an illusion that eventually one day you can have your own private jet. You know what I'm saying? And all of these luxuries in your own yacht. Sit on your yacht and eat caviar and have beautiful women, young women walking the decks. You understand? It's all a dream. And so when you get ready to wake up into reality, then this is the day that you're willing to fight to stay alive, to exist, and to live. Because you ain't finna get all that other stuff. Wake up. You gotta stay woke. It's time to put the canned goods up. Get your buckets and pack them and bag them with rice, beans. They even have these emergency storage buckets of foods, 160 servings. Some may be more or less. Shelf life 25 years. And if you are a celebrity, you know you're supposed to be getting your things in order. You have the ability to go out and buy land, 100 and some acres on a waterfront. And you can go ahead and start building a civilization. And that civilization, hey, you got to have some automatic rifles and weapons, so you be able to fight. Because they planning to take the streets by storms, helicopters everywhere, looking for people who running in the woods, confiscating them and taking them over there to these camps. They're hell bent on getting their numbers down. So you can either believe me or just say I'm nuts and I'm out of my mind. But I keep telling you, how long do you think that these gas prices and food prices can continue to soar or soar until something comes to a head? It's coming. And I'm telling you, when I went back on this traveling assignment once again, and for people who don't know what I'm talking about my astral travel. I'm a soul walker. All I saw was devastation. Where people were in the streets once again. Well, I don't know why I got to keep coming back and forth to that. You understand? And like I told y'all, the nice were bad. I'm like, why do you all keep bringing me in this place? To see dogs, rats, eating the flesh of each other and humans, streets littered with, you know what? BODIES. Because there is no EMS. There is no coroner transportation to come and pick these bodies up. There is nothing to cover them with. And the elite themselves will perish with us. And they don't even know that they're being utilized by something cosmic to reset the planet as they create the sickness, the plagues, as they cripple the waterways. Well, there's ships. I've ordered some stuff from China. It hadn't gotten here yet. And I said it's a donation because I know I never get them. Don't order nothing from China. I told y'all, when y'all go on these sites like eBay, Shein, SHEIN, whatever these companies are, whatever, don't order nothing from these companies. Anything that says China, kind of leave it alone a little bit. Why? Because most of these people are in some form of lockdown. Now, I did hear and see where they said that they cut a little cord and let the people out and they out and everything and stuff like that. But I don't know how true that is. You know what I'm saying? But just know that there are ships that are stuck in port. They're just there. They're not moving. And even when they do begin to move, I mean, it was like clusters of ships that just go for more, just all out in the sea. Can't get in. And if it continues like this, 6 months to a year, maybe 2 years, we will have completely given out of everything. Now, I need to stop. I saw a young lady's video on TikTok. And she, like I say, there's some very woke people on TikTok. I am advising you all to please go and put your keywords in there. And there's a lot of young, bright, spiritual beings out there. And I'm learning from them too. This young lady said, she said, please, y'all stop saying it's a food shortage because it's not. And she's right. She said, you've just grown to depend on food in these grocery stores. When the grocery stores stop stocking, she said, food will continue to grow from the grounds. All you need is your seeds. Okay, they just interrupted my live stream. We was getting right about 50, and I already told you how it works on my channel. They reset it. They start letting it spin and spin to reset it because this is a censored channel. It is shadow banning is real on my channel. So shadow banning is real on my channel. So when they do that, they're resetting the numbers. And I've talked to countless people who have said that they wouldn't allow me in your live stream. I got bumped out your live stream and couldn't get back in. So as you all watch my channel disseminate, it is because this is what they want. They want to control what you all watch. They want to control who you watch and who you don't. See, from all the way from 50 down to 38. That's why they did that. I don't care where I'm at. Sometimes I'm streaming from my daughter's house. I get interrupted. She's got her Wi-Fi is strong. You know what I'm saying? I'm with Spectrum. I shouldn't be having any interruptions. Somebody's doing the interruption. They don't want y'all to know. They don't want you to know that death is coming. And then they need to realize death is coming for them too. No one is safe on the planet. And I forgot where I was before I got interrupted. So you have to watch where they make the interruption. Go back and listen to it. Because there's always something they don't want you to hear. I was so many videos just showing like crazy things happening on the planet that's just unbelievable, but they're on TikTok because YouTube censor and block you from certain information. You know, if you type something in chemtrails or chemical clouds, whatever, they direct you to a corporation like National Geographic and different. You see what I'm saying? Not an individual who's talking about their experience. If you want something spiritual, you type in spirituality, they're going to send you to a church. Maybe T.D. Jakes may going to be talking about it. Everything has to revolve around something matrix in nature. You got to go to TikTok. And I think that's where they stopped me at when I was talking about TikTok. They don't want you to go there. I'm advising everybody to go there. That's crazy how they set up and interrupted that live stream and knocked us from 50 down here to 30 some. That is crazy. And then I'll get either text message or in a comment section or something like that. They won't let me back in to your live stream. All by design. My numbers are low by design. But so this one, and matter of fact, on one of my channels, I had a TikTok video up where this lady was talking about something, and it's crazy because I can't remember what she was talking about, and I had to take it out my phone because it was taking too much room up. So YouTube says we have actually, you have a community guideline strike because of a video. So I wanted to see what video it was. It wouldn't show it to me. But I remember who it was. It was a young lady on TikTok talking about something that I can't remember. And I can't find her on TikTok. I've been looking and looking and looking and looking. But it was something harmless. It wasn't even a big deal. Whatever it was, because I felt like it was safe to put on YouTube. Because I can monitor what's safe for YouTube and what's not. And I said, wow, it's safe for TikTok, but not YouTube? Looks like whatever is safe for TikTok should be safe for YouTube. Why would TikTok let it stay up there, but YouTube won't? Y'all go ahead and take your business over there to TikTok. For you all tarot card readers, oracle readers, and stuff like that, if you want some business, you're supposed to be at TikTok. I'm trying to get to 1,000 now. I'm willing to buy some TikTok. And I don't care what YouTube do about it. Call TikTok and let them know. I will buy me up 4,000 or 5,000 people because I can buy it. I have the money. I'll buy me up 4,000 or 5,000 followers if I don't hurry up and get me some. So I can start live streaming. Some of these tarot card readers and stuff be live streaming all night long. As one lady, if it make me scared, something wrong. That woman's scary. Her stuff scary. To me, she looks scary and she's got a very dark nature about her, but with all her shit be accurate. I had to I didn't follow her anymore because she had some scary stuff on. Now y'all know if I say scary, it's something wrong. She has an accent. I can't figure out what she is. And I know she watch my content. I know you be over here, honey. Because she's always playing y'all's music all the time. And I'm like, okay, suspect. Suspect. She has a whole lot of hieroglyphics behind her back, suspect, because y'all know I'm 7% Egyptian. So, according to the DNA company, not according to me. Not according to me. I had my DNA done, 7%, 95% African total. That's a significant amount. I'm like, okay, no wonder, my hair. So, I got such tight strands of like tight curl strands all over my head and dark nail beds and stuff. 90% African, 95% African. My daughters didn't even get that. My daughters, Mr. Willie, didn't even get that. I have more African in me. My son hadn't had his done. I have more African in me than my husband and my daughters. That's crazy. And this is why I lean more towards this versus that. And then, like I said, don't get me wrong, because you could be 100% African and still lean more towards, the matrix. You understand? Don't get me wrong, because it's all over the planet. But to me, it just seems like, I guess it's the tribes. I am 50% uh, West African. Did they say no? 73% West African. I think that's what they said. I'm not sure, but it was a large percentage. The other percentage was East African and North African. I was far more West African than I was Kenyan. I mean, not Kenyan, but East African, and far more of East African than I was North African. You understand? 95%. And if I could do away with the other 5% of European, I would. I just don't know any type of nothing to do that. I know they say they have a kit, and it's like a supplement kit. And what it does is it heals your DNA and helps to regenerate your DNA. Somebody told me to give that shot, give it a shot. So those kits are out there. Even if you are European and you want to work on your DNA, some Europeans, I talked to one lady that said that she was having her DNA rearranged to be more of a genetically African. And I think she said she was into Apollo. She had been initiated to Apollo, where she was initiated to be a shadow priestess or a priestess of the dead. She said so. She was having her DNA, and this is true. It can be done, especially an alchemist can do it. Can I don't know the terminology of what it is to make your DNA different or something like that. There's a name for it and I can't figure it out. But if I could, I would work on that 5%. I don't need it because see, that 5% European, understanding nothing against Europeans and everything. Some of their cultural type systems are very intriguing to me. Like I'm very fond of the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I like that. The Celtic knots and stuff. I love it. But you understand where we're going. You understand? Even if you're European, we're gonna have to work something out because like it's gonna come to a head where the sun, you're not gonna be able to continue to shroud it in clouds. It's going to win. Nature always wins. You know what I'm saying? And so even though when that day comes, I won't be here, I need to realize that I'm going to reincarnate because I have said it. Some of you may not reincarnate back to this planet. Maybe you reincarnate somewhere else, but I'm going to reincarnate here because my work is not done. Hello? So in that, I do not need to be reincarnating into, because I feel like you reincarnate back through your DNA line, and you have no choice. You're going to come back to your DNA, no one else's. It's all yours. So I can reincarnate back to any of those African countries or to here. I don't believe you can if you're you got mostly European in you and you ain't got nothing else, you're gonna reincarnate back to being a European. Go ahead and heal that now. Heal it now. Because that's gonna be extinct. So there are some Europeans that are aware of that. They're highly intelligent, highly evolved beings. Don't get me wrong. They really are. Like I told you, I've been having most of my troubles with these Palladians out here. You know, because there's still different star races that run this whole show you dealing with right now. All of them have their very own territories that they guard and protect. Okay, so I have these, I have this going on. I'm at war with this issue with them. But let's go back. You know, Europeans know more about your spirituality than you do. They really do. Because most of us have spent so much time just laboring. Don't get me wrong, they labor too hard. They labor hard. But it's a little bit different from us. We're still trying to heal ourselves from what we've gone through in the past century. You know, being held as indentured servants, you understand? And plowing fields and all of that didn't give us the opportunity, you understand, to be able to sit down and meditate. We was just asking the Lord to help us just make it at least one more day. So it's a lot that we didn't get a chance to there was a lot of lessons and stuff that we didn't get the opportunity to learn, and a lot of oral teachings that have been lost because most of us couldn't write. So we used the oral teachings because and a lot of us didn't know we didn't know how to write and do all of those different things because some of us were taken from our lands and stuff. You know, just like if somebody was to take me out of my land right now and drop me off in Haiti. Now I'm I'm expected to be able to speak Creole and to write it down on paper, and I can't. So this is what happened to a lot of us. We were very intelligent people, very gifted people. This is why they wanted us for our gifts. The ability to go out in scalding sun and grow crops. They wasn't able to do it. You understand? Because those so-called masters and the people who benefited from all of this free labor that had built America, that our African Americans will never be compensated for. They weren't made out of nothing. They was weak. My auntie gave me this my auntie that has, since passed. She'd be about 98 years old now. She gave us a lesson in all of this, and I didn't know why she was giving us a lesson. And she would sit us down in the living room and straighten up your head, straighten up your back, hold your head up. I don't care if you is little dog girls. You gotta have a sense of pride about you. Don't you ever put your head down. Because you made out of something. I'm like, what is she talking about? You don't ever bow your head down to them. I'm like, what is she talking about? They needed you to build this country. You didn't never need them. You just became dependent because you was born into it. But those that came before you was useless to them because they refused to bow down. Oh, she would preach. Matter of fact, I sound like her. They say I look like her, I sound like her. So spirit is over here with me. Renee, don't rest. I don't like all that rest in peace and rest in power. Now we ain't resting. The day we go and rest, the enemy takes over. We'll continue to fight even on the other side. Hello? Ain't never gonna be no rest. Rest means that you die forever. Even on the other side, I'm gonna be making noise. I don't like to rest. I'm a radical. I'm a warrior. Warriors don't rest. We're always fighting. And she gave us that. And she told us not to, nothing against Europeans and stuff. I'm just telling you how my auntie was. She was not a racist or anything of any kind. But she said we don't supposed to be mixing. You got to realize this now. I'm like, what is she telling us for? My mom would drill us with this over and over again. We don't supposed to mix with them. We don't supposed to be. But see, I got to realize they come from a generation of people where they remember what happened to us. They remember and they ain't forgot. And I ain't gonna forget. And I'm telling you, the fact that you ain't gonna be having it's gonna be civil unrest. It's gonna get bad on us. Watch your back. They're coming for you. She would tell us, she said, don't, no, you can't, you better not never bring one of them in my house. I'm gonna kill you. I was like, wow. Now this is not auntie, this is my mama. Like, why is my mama acting like that? Because I didn't know what she was talking about, because, none of them were ever interested in me. Later on, it was out of high school, but in high school, we were amongst, people of many races. And that was the time where even they would agree with us. So it was illegal for us to come together. They just recently fixed that in 2000. Prior to 2000, it was illegal. It was illegal. And they will tell you, don't mix with them black folks. They would tell you, they own that. And some places still doing it. But we can't forget. I ain't gonna forget. I'm not gonna forget about those who were thrown in the rivers to the alligators. I'm not gonna forget about those who was hung from the goddamn magnolia and the oak. I'm not gonna forget, because see, I had an incident over him. And I told Willie, I said, Willie, how could you forget? How could you forget? He was talking to a racist down the street, and they had an altercation. They was arguing. They was fussing. And now the whole town after him now. I said, this could be a modern day lynching. You can't forget. There's some cool ones out here. I love them to death. But I love them from a distance. I love them from a distance because I know they don't like me. I like them, but they don't like me. But I like them far off away from me, because I'm telling y'all, and I'm having this talk with y'all, because when it gets down to where it's going to get down to the get down, you're not going to matter. They're going to ply your doors open and get what they want, because they never respected you. They never respected you. Don't fall for the okie doke, okay? They need you now. They want to come into your DNA family so they can reincarnate, because you can't that particular race won't be able to reincarnate. So that's why I say European, is time to heal your DNA. Heal your DNA. If you plan on having offsprings, like granny them say offsprings. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you don't plan on having no more offsprings, because you are your offspring and your ancestors, if you don't plan on doing none of that, then okay, then I'm not necessarily talking about you. But even us, we want to heal our DNA because any percentage of the European in you gonna make you weak and susceptible to what the planet is doing, especially what the planet is doing to the sun. Hello, hello. Am I making myself clear? Okay, I ain't gonna forget how you lynch my great, 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 great. I ain't gonna forget how you took my land from my great, 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 greats. I ain't gonna forget that. I'm at all times aware I'm watching you, and you can see it in my eyes. I see you. There's this thing going on because it has happened to two of my clients where there's this new thing y'all need to know. Not all Europeans, because there's some great ones out there, but there are some, they're making a business of marrying Black women with high paying jobs, making good money. They'll marry you, they'll have babies with you. When the babies get some size, they take the baby from you and then they sue you for child support. Hello? Now you paying $2,000 or $3,000 worth of child support per month. Don't y'all fall for those. Don't do what the Serena Williams done. Don't do it. She don't even look human no more. And see, that's another thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm not no racist person. I'm not no prejudice thing. Y'all got to understand whoever you sleep with, you take on their DNA, and that DNA does do something to your DNA. And whatever happens to your DNA, you'll start seeing it in your physical appearance and even the way you act. Look at Serena Williams, what she look like now. 2022. Type that in and look at her. She don't even look. And Serena, if you listen to me or anybody know her, if you're going to get back to her, baby, you don't even look human no more. Your DNA need healing. Your sister looks better than you. Now, I know, Venus, you done went and did the inevitable yourself too personally. But you didn't produce the children. Baby, you better save yourself. Don't go down that road. Like I said, I love all people. But I just believe in people being with the people that they are with the people. You stay in your DNA lineage. You understand? Even myself, I'm mixed with all of this different stuff. So, you know, I'm disconnected from a lot of downloads. A lot of what would be unveiled to me, I ain't going to be able to get it. First of all, I don't know my culture. I have been robbed of that. But when you go into these remote villages in the Amazons and shit, and you go to Africa and you go all them different places, the people know their God's name. I don't even know who my God's name is. I know that they're there. I talk to my gods, but I don't know their names. I need some time to channel their names so I'll know when to call on them. But there's so many. I had my DNA done at another company, and they went on to break down the different tribes, and some of the ones that were significant was Yoruba. I was more Yoruba than anything. Esan, whatever that is. I got to look that up. ESAN, Mandinga, which I knew I was Mandinga. I'm a very tall lady. Berber, that was from Morocco. They broke all of the tribes down. It was just too many. I said, now this is ridiculous. I said, this makes me a hybrid. I'm a hybrid. I have no connection to nothing. This is why I don't believe in the thing. You know, we're going with all these different types. I don't believe in that. This is why African Americans are still at the back of the bus and not even realizing it. You're still in the back. No one's going to respect you. We're not going to be respected. You don't know who your God is. You don't know your God language. You don't know nothing. You're just a lost group of people. You're lost. Now it's going to be your fault because we're in the age of information and you can get to know all of that and you're not interested in finding out. You're trying to get your long lashes, your handbags. And I don't want to, really bash, people for wanting their lashes, but we do look like clowns now. We really looking like clowns with the lashes and the long weaves of different colors, rainbow, yellows, blues, greens, reds. No one takes us serious. And we breed black boys that never grow to be men because there are no father figures in their lives. We got problems. But let's just keep on going where we're going. We need to still do our tarot cards, our oracle cards. Let's do what we do. And the ancestors will lead us, okay? The ancestors are going to lead us. But I'm telling you, better be careful out there. Be careful who you're entertaining. It just could be your enemy. Could just be your enemy. So, pardon me if I've offended anybody, but shit, everybody should agree. Pardon me if I've offended you. I'm just the messenger. That's all I am. I'm just the messenger. Like I said, I know all of this. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't know. They might say, "Oh, she done did this. It's wrong, whatever." But everybody, and you hearing this from my old school, from my OG, everybody needs to stay in their own lane. You understand? If you know you black, you supposed to partner with the black. If you know you don't want to partner with the black, don't partner at all. If you red, partner with your red, with your white, with the white, and blue with the blue, green. You have less problems because you're creating confusion. And the ball is in your court. Don't give them the ball. Ball back in your court. You think I'm going to reward you with a new bloodline? No, heal your bloodline. Like I said, Europeans can heal their bloodlines. We can heal our bloodlines. If you got a lot of European in you, you can heal that. Hello? See, we got a lot of work. We're here for a reason. We're not just here to be just setting up here on the planet. We're here to make it better for the next person that's coming after us. Or before us, however you want to put it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to make it better for my offspring. And if I'm in a situation where I'm messing up the bloodline, breaking the bloodline, doing all that different things, then I'm making it worse. Because that's a race of beings that will be extinct. And it is. And I think they know it. So that's why I said, like, I talked to a European woman that's healing her bloodline because she knows. And they know it. Some of them just don't want you to know about that. Hello? You're a gold mine now. You worth more than you could ever imagine, especially a black woman. Anytime that somebody got to get a white van and pick you up and whirl you off, soundproof van, you got to be worth a lot. Thank you, Aja. Know your worth and protect it. I'm in the chat, y'all. Once again, intuitively in sync. I'm sorry. How are you doing? Sefakila, Yolanda Lucky. How you doing? Hey, Zane. Hey, Nicole Tracy. Hey, Ruby. Okay, Ruby says the abuse has to stop. The energy of Kali Ma and Sekhmet anger is rising. You made me think about what I was going to talk to you all about on TikTok, and it's floating around on TikTok now. Where the clouds are starting to make shapes and images of different beings. I'm like, the fuck. Come on now. I know they making. I know that the children of the Matrix are making artificial clouds, but are they actually trying to make them look like beings? So, and if I find it, I'm gonna put it on my channel. I have a channel called the Temple of the Crossroads. Out there. There's two of them, but the one that has a lot of TikTok videos is the one I want you all to go on to. But um, it's everybody is sharing this one. It shows a skeleton face, a whole skeleton head hovering over the city, and you can see the gown it has on, and everything. I said, I'm gonna paint that. I'm gonna paint that and put that in my tarot card deck. Y'all, they've been really playing games with my tarot card deck that I'm trying to release. So I'm trying to release a set of 20. It's going to be 22 in there, and they have been killing me. They have been killing me. Whoever these hackers are, and I do believe they're connected with Google. I ordered the deck 50 something. Go back in there, and they have no, what they're saying, they don't show where I have ordered any. I've actually paid for it. PayPal shows where I paid for it and everything. Gone. Just gone. Trying to keep me from getting these decks so I can distribute them out there. They're doing everything they possibly can because they know how powerful I am with that. So the skull head being with the gown on, I'm finna get ready to draw it right now. Get ready. But it was hovering over the city. So I said, they're a different being coming in through portals, and they're making themselves known. They're using everything, clouds, vapors, trees. Even sometimes you look in the trees and you see images and stuff like that, like faces in the trees. I'm like, God damn, that's a whole face looking. You understand? Even in the water, sometimes you can see their faces and stuff. They like I say, the war is not only physical, it's cosmic too. So go out to TikTok and check that out. Yes. Um. Hey, Saint Ann, how you doing? Hey, Mapina. Oh, you had Okay, Mapina said, I had a dream last night about an alligator was in my dad's home, but he does not live by a lake or a pond. That means that your daddy is in some type of danger. Okay, so take that very serious. Go over there to your dad's house. You understand? And get you some. That's an omen. Get you some of that coal oil. Coal oil destroys bad omens. Or get you some creolina over there. Put it in a ball and just spray all around this house with it. Because you ain't got time to break the floors down, the walls, the ceiling. You ain't got time for all of that. So just go on over there and just like with that spray bottle, half in that spray bottle, half water, half creolina. Because that's all creolina is coal oil. You got coal oil put all around your floors and walls and all of that. Because it ain't nothing but like the soot that come from your candles. The soot that come from your candles is protective. Anything black as carbon is protection because it means that it's aged and it's just as old as the motherfucking planet itself. That's what the planet is. Nothing but carbon. Your mountaintops, all of this fossilization. Fossils are black. And it's getting to the point you can't even find black camels around here no more. They're grabbing it all, y'all. They're getting everything. Get all the black camels you can. You're going to need your protection up. Especially with this blood moon that's passed. I don't even think it occurred yet. And they had the skies packed with clouds of clouds. See, they think they slick. Either sometimes it had already occurred by the time they announced it, or it's going to occur after the time they say it's going to happen. They don't want you to get that energy. Them skies was packed up last night. and the night before last. So they're not only doing it for the sun, but they're doing it for the moon too, and the star. We don't bit more know what the constellation alignment is. We have to just rely on them. You'd have to go to Jerusalem somewhere or Jordan to see clear skies, so you can see what's really going on. And this is where most of your oracles and your sages are. They need to be in those places like that so that they can look up there at the screen up there. We can't see nothing. They won't let us see. Okay. Okay. St. Anne said, in the morning, every morning before sun up, I drive home from my work and there's a star that's always in the same position. Spirit told me it was the International Space Station. Okay. Okay. Intuitively in sync says, hey, mother, I have been trying my hardest to heal through trauma by using my magic for years, but daily I don't have strength. Do you do classes on magic? Let me tell you what's going on with that. A lot of okay, y'all know, and when I say the sickness, you already know what I'm talking about. Cause you can't go into depth talking about that stuff. It'll get your channel shut down. And it's a way to silence people from truth. That's it. But what that does, it goes in your DNA and disturb your God factor. It disturbs the bridgeway between you and the divine. This is why I keep telling you all, go out and heal your DNA. Go and heal your DNA. Go online and you will see a multitude of kits, or you know I don't want to call them supplements, vitamins. I don't want to call them medicines. I don't have the word for whatever that is. But I've heard reviews of people using them. Because the sickness is going inside of whatever that is. Because when they manufacture it in these labs, they know the key components to attack: immune system and the God factor. Because they know you all are, they know that you're connected. They know you've received the download. They want to disrupt it. So this is why we have so many people out there that are depressed, suffering from anxiety, heart palpitations, hearts beating fast, out of control. My heart rate is 150. My heart rate is 200. This is why you got people who are suicidal. People who are taken to the grocery stores and spraying people. Hello? Y'all know what I'm talking about, spraying with. And I told y'all, I said, expect more suicide and homicides. This summer, I had already warned you all of this because people are desperate. And the sickness go in and programs and deprograms. This is what it does. So what you're experiencing is all by design. Watch the rainwater. The rainwater has molecules in there that actually jump starts whatever the sickness has left behind. Okay? Like I said, the numbers got to come down so it's in the water. The numbers got to come down so it's in the food. This is why so many factories and, food plant factories are being destroyed, because what they need Monsanto to do is to come in and take over everything. They don't want you to have anything natural, even though they say apples and carrots and pineapples, all of these things are engineered by man. And they are. And I was, okay, it brought me to what I was going to say about TikTok. I was looking at a village in Africa. See, this is their problems. The children of the matrix don't realize, the elites don't realize that we're able to look at villages now. They have cell phones so we can see truth. But it showed in the villages how, even though it did to us, they don't have like a lot of the technologies we have here, and electricity and different things, but they were all in the outside, sun shining bright, no clouds all in the sky. And they were dancing and they was happy, and all of the babies, they were feeding like a village coming together to feed everybody. Whereas we in our house eating here, you understand, our own little meal because we like our independence. These people had unity. And but it was the person was showing the food that they have, the vegetables that they have, and none of their vegetables get as big as ours. None of their fruits are as big as ours. It showed the onions, those red onions we like. We had those big, huge, gigantic red onions in there. That's something man-made, made in a lab. But their little onions were small. They're like the size of like a smaller, about the size of a ping pong ball. Just everything was small. Anything that you eat, fruit and vegetable, that's very, very large, in a large abundance, it is genetically modified. And this is what is hurting your DNA. This is what is doing damage to your DNA. When your DNA is damaged, it produces cancer cells and autoimmune issues. Now they say that they want to go into the fruits and vegetables and put the hokey pokey inside of your fruits and vegetables. So that's why you don't hear too much hype about the hokey pokey no more, because now they're going to engineer it in the food. They say you're gonna get this, whether you want this or not, because I put it in every fruit and every veggie there is. But it's going to be worse than that, because get prepared to a time where there will be no fruits and vegetables. You'll get all your meals through a package. And all you got to do is add water and do this. Insta foods. And don't get me wrong, it's going to be appealing to you, because you're going to be able to sit down there and see that turkey on that piece of paper and them English peas and mashed potatoes. You understand? But it's going to be in powder form. You're going to be looking at the label, wishing that you was showing up eating a real piece of turkey. Like Granny said, turkey. She didn't put the R in it. You understand? Baby, them days coming. And what you think gonna be in that Insta food? You think they ain't gonna put nothing in there? Now they have the ability to engineer a whole new race of beings to do whatever they want them to do. Producing offsprings that are seedless. Call them seedless babies. Producing offsprings that are built and designed to do labor and to never have that God factor in them. Never have any interest in connecting with the divine or what's beyond the veil. You're creating robots, super beings. That's what's going to be in that powder formula. And for any undesirable races that they don't have any interest in, they don't want around, you know what it's going to do? You're going to be extinct. Y'all know I'm back in the chat. Hey, Crazy Ace, how you doing? Oh yes, Crazy Ace. She's talking about her cycle. She can't believe her cycle started on the blood moon. Let's put it like this right here. The moon regulates women's cycles. That's why they say when you having bad period cramps, or you just keep on coming on your period and everything, or what have you, and you got an issue of blood. That's why they call it moon sickness. When women was on their cycles, they'll say they got moon sickness. I never will forget one of those cycles that I had. We had some type of, I don't know what kind of moon that was, but it was a lot of folks complaining about their cycles. It was one of the worst I could ever fathom. Do you hear me? Because the moon pulls on the wombs. That's what causes the cramping action. The moon also pulls on the sea, the waters. That's your moja there. You understand? She regulates all of that. Your cycles. She regulates the sea, the oceans, anything with water. That's her. You understand? And especially the womb, when the womb has life in it. That's your moja. Boy, I'm telling you, baby, that moon right there, I don't ever want to see. I could literally feel the moon pulling my womb. It was painful. This was a while back. Because y'all know where I'm at now, this period where I'm at now. But whoo, I can't go there no more. Honey, it was all women here. I could talk about it. Went through a whole bag of sanitary napkins within like a day or two. And y'all know that ain't normal. So women can expect more activity going on in their wombs as the moon, because see, the moon is still at a blood moon, even though they say it's, they may say it's over with or what have you. The moon is still, its energy is still doing whatever it is to do. Okay. And it affects us, the beings on the planet, wherever the moon is. You understand? It affects us psychologically. That's why they say, they call it lunar. And when it's a full moon, people tend to kind of get a little bit more irate. You understand? And sometimes it's, just they become illogical. And you have more homicides and suicides during this time of a full lunar. And they call it what? That's a lunatic. That's where the word lunatic came from. Lunatic. Lunatic. Mm-hmm. Hello, Primordial Oracle. How you doing? Saint Anne, you so crazy. You crazy, Saint Anne. Okay. That's true. Ruby says the elderly is targets now. Yes. Because see, the elderly, when they're driving, they can't see as well. So the elderly tends to come out at nighttime and do most of their shopping now because they want to try to avoid the rush hour traffic and so many people in the store. So they'll come out at night. And now you're coming out at night with your groceries. And them folks, them peoples who out, this the way they gonna eat, they coming for you. Hello? And they can get caught up in these trafficking schemes too. Because they can use some of these elderly people or elderly men and stuff to do some work with the children while the adults out in the field. Use y'all imagination now around here. So they ain't say, okay, intuitively, Sink says she getting her a piece. They got some that look like little ink pens and Little things you wouldn't even imagine. You'd be like, okay, that can hurt somebody. Oh wow, it looks so cute. So, honey, they come all kind of way. Excuse me. Okay, intuitively says, instinct. I'm sorry. Says I'm about to get up right now and go to Walmart and get my canned goods, mother. Thank you. Yeah, y'all get it because I'm telling you, it ain't gonna. It's coming faster than you get yourselves prepared for. It's coming fast, and the government. It's just everything gonna go on as usual because in their minds, it's not a food shortage. They're just limiting what's in the stores. And in our minds, we got to realize it's not a food shortage. You're just going to have to grow your own food. Until the earth is not able to supply, the soil is no longer able to sustain vegetation, there is no food shortage. You just got to get your own. Does that make sense? Now, when the earth get to the point the soil is just no good and can't nothing grow from, then you say it's a food shortage. When it get like soylent green, that move it, then it's a food shortage. But until that day come, okay, we got to stop saying that. Hey Kia, how you doing? Okay, Kia said, is it like a melanin supplement? It may be. I want y'all to do that research. They have actual what packages out there that you can purchase to heal your DNA, to restore your DNA. And you're gonna need that because radiation destroys DNA. This is why when black people go and get chemotherapy, so white people or black people or any race get chemotherapy, their hair fall out. But some black people and some white people, but I'm talking about black people now. Some black people, their hair does not fall out. Their hair grows bone straight like European hair. That's what happened to my mom when she started getting chemo. I couldn't figure out why her hair texture changed. Because she used to have like a curl pattern to her hair. But her hair began to grow real long, just straight, like we would say an Indian. And come to find out, you lose your radiation strips melanin, y'all. Not only just aging, because as you grow older, your melanin, you are depleted in melanin as you grow older, so your skin may tend to lighten up and your hair tends to get a little straighter as you grow old as a melanated person. People don't know that. So, radiation is something else. Hey, Missy J. Hey, Brenda. I ain't gonna be able to read all of the comments. Hey, Sasha. Cause I gotta go. Hey, Luna, Nightshade, and thank you, Chastain Stone, for moderating. How are you? And I think that's it. Hey, Brenda, you doing all right? Hey, Divine Symmetry. Okay. Are there any questions? Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anyone? Waiting to see if anybody got any questions here. Don't forget what the master did to us. Don't forget how they got together in their trucks and gangs and went in gangs, GANGS, and they broke into the jail cells and got us out when they had accused us of crimes and they strung us. You understand? From the strongest trees they can find. Don't forget. Don't forget how they feathered and tarred us. Don't forget. Don't forget how they set us on fire. Always want to be reminded of that, okay? And when you keep that in your memory, keep you from slipping. Don't slip up. Okay? I'm out. Please rate and subscribe.